Moshumi. I am a registered dietitian, and welcome to my session of Lunch with the Dietitian. Very excited to have all of you in here. Whether you're watching my live or replay, make sure to share my video. We have this weekend happens to be Valentine's Day, so we have a Valentine's Day special today where we are going to be discussing all about chocolate. So if you're ready, let's get going. Super excited to just share. It's just going to be a fun session today. Again, it's Valentine's is coming up, so very excited again just to be sharing some chocolate facts with all of you because again, this weekend is Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is a day like many other holidays that it's not uncommon, right, for us to kind of reach out for a piece or two of chocolate. So in today's session, let's dive right in, find out really quick about history of chocolate, of course, nutritional content from the dietitian, the various types of chocolates there are, caffeine content, and all that good stuff. So, all right, history. Where did chocolate come from? So chocolate basically comes from beans that are called the cacao beans, and chocolate first originated in Central America, and then it went on to Europe. In fact, a fun fact about chocolate is that it wasn't until the 19th century that the first chocolate bar was created in Britain, and chocolate actually, the popularity of chocolate spiked in 20th century. So again, for those of you who are just joining me, today we have a Valentine's special all about chocolate. Ins, outs, how much should we have, and a little history, just a little fun facts, fun session. And then of course, like I do always at the end of the session, don't go away because I have some really exciting recipes, healthy chocolate recipes that I will be sharing with all of you. So basically, guys, there's the three kinds of common chocolate. There's the milk chocolate, there is dark chocolate, and then there's white chocolate. And your milk chocolate and dark chocolate, basically, they come from cacao beans, which are how are they manufactured. So basically, in really quick, they are scooped out, they're fermented, and then they're dried. They are then roasted into and then the beans are ground, and basically then after that they form like a liquefied version. This is where then they are adding all the added stuff like your sweeteners and things like that. Cocoa powder that we know is basically the result of ground cacao beans, the one that produces our chocolate. Regular chocolate or milk chocolate is it does have the liquor in it, the liquefied chocolate. It also has powdered milk and then sugar. Keep in mind, average milk chocolate only has about 10% cocoa content. So that is it. Dark chocolate, so kind of just showing you guys the difference, right, between regular milk chocolate and dark chocolate. And like I said, we'll be diving in a little bit more deeper too. So dark chocolate also has the same ingredients, but in different amounts. So most of dark chocolate has about 35 to 85% of cacao, and so it has the stronger, if you've noticed, it has like a stronger bitter taste. And again, it depends from person to person, but some people love the darkest of chocolates, like the really dark ones. They have like the bitter taste, but sugar content is almost nil to zero, and like I said, we'll definitely touch base about that. So what is the issue with having chocolates? The problem comes in not so much with like your the cacao or the cocoa powder that's added in here, the liquefied form. That is not an issue. In fact, I will be discussing there are benefits to this. But the problem comes in with all the add-ins, right? So like I said, guys, during the liquefying phase, there are many different products. They will be adding soy, they add cocoa butter, bulking ingredients, basically. And my other advice is don't just go by the brand. Please, please, please always read your labels, just to make sure what's in there. Now, this is, again, a Ghirardelli one. And basically what this has, I'm just saying, it's got sugar, it's got unsweetened chocolate, it's got corn syrup, it's got sweetened condensed milk, it's got palm oil, cocoa butter, milk fat, butter, soy lecithin, sodium citrate. So look at, and of course it's got some good stuff too, like your flaxseed, plum, green tea, salt, and your vanilla extract. But the reason I'm not supporting one brand over the other, guys, but the reason I have this is because if you love your sweets, right, and especially during special occasions, like this is Valentine's weekend, I'm sure everybody's going to have a little piece or so. Just read your labels to see what is there. I'm sure all of you know about like the added sugars, but make sure again to double check and see what's in there. So that's one important thing that I kind of wanted to, make sure all of you are aware with, again, with chocolate. Make sure you're reading the bar, right? Now, coming into my favorite topic, nutrition facts. Like I said, the most common, the three kinds of chocolate that we have are your white chocolate, milk chocolate, and then, of course, there's the dark chocolate. Calories. So just so it's easy for all of you, I'm just going to compare about 26 grams of chocolate, which is about a standard like two little squares, okay, of chocolate. Calorie wise, so white chocolate, that has about the two squares that I said, has about 146 calories. Milk chocolate has about 147 calories, very comparable, right? Dark chocolate has about 136 calories. Again, just a little less than your milk and your regular chocolate. Amount of carbs. White chocolate has 13 grams carb. Super important, guys. If you're listening to this, listen to this part. It's got 13 grams of carb, but all of these carbs are coming from your sugar. In fact, white chocolate does not, unlike its name, it does have the chocolate in it, but it does not contain any of the cacao in it. So it's basically sugar with some calcium in it. So again, going back, white chocolate has about 13 grams carbs. Everything is coming from your sugar. Milk chocolate, that has about 14 grams carbs, and 12 of the 14 is coming from your sugar. Now comes our healthiest choice, dark chocolate, right? How many calories, how many carbs does dark chocolate have? It has about the same amount, again, your two little squares, has about 12 grams of carbs. How much is sugar? None, if we look into 85% dark chocolate. So like I said, when there is, it's very, very important to read your labels, guys. So just don't, if you see like a dark chocolate, just don't think it's a good for you, because again, it has to have, like I said, the amount of the cacao in there or cocoa in there is super duper important, and I will touch base on that also in just a minute. So again, for any or all of you that are joining me, my name is Moshumi. I am a registered dietitian with my private practice here in Lansing, Michigan. It's a beautiful sunny day for us outside, and we are talking about something I think 95% of the world's population loves: chocolate. So we are basically comparing the white, the milk, and then the dark chocolate, right? Like I said, white chocolate has no cacao in it. So basically it's just calories, gets all the carbs you're getting from your sugar, and it's just got a marginal amount of calcium. Milk chocolate, similar, very similar. Only thing is it's slightly more higher in calcium, and it's got a tad bit of iron in it too. Our dark chocolate, like I said, it is wonderful. Now, calorie-wise, you're not saving so much because it's very similar calorically to your white or your regular chocolate. But the catch is in the fact that it is like no added sugar in it. It's got about, again, I'm talking about like the 85% dark chocolate, guys, that contains about the two little pieces of that contains about 136 calories, about 14 grams fat. It's not like a low fat by any chance. 1 gram protein, no sugar. It's got 2 grams of fiber, yay. And like I said, it's got like about 12 grams of carbs, no sugar though. The next one, very interesting fact. How many of you associate chocolate with caffeine, right? Usually, typically, I see people go tea, coffee, soda, we can't have these caffeine content. With chocolate, it's not like super high, but then again, I am just, going to make a comparison of how much caffeine is in there. So, again, caffeine content is much less than your average cup of coffee. For example, an average cup of coffee, caffeinated coffee generally has about 100 to 160 milligrams of caffeine in it. If I say about 1.5 ounces, I'm just going to use that, of like your chocolate, and this is dark chocolate I'm talking about, that has about 9 milligrams of caffeine, so not much. The catch comes in here is where we, this is 1.5 ounces, right? Where if we sit and we are having about 5-6 ounces of chocolate, sometimes, those big bars, then you are getting a substantial amount of caffeine. So kind of keep that in your mind. Another one that I kind of like to mention also is your, which is very popular here, especially among coffee lovers, is your dark chocolate covered coffee beans. Now those are very high in caffeine because it's got one serving of that has about 200 milligrams, which is like half of your caffeine allowance if you even want to do that much of caffeine per day. So those are the things I kind of, tell my clientele, watch out. Again, your dark chocolate is definitely, which I know everybody knows, is like your best bet. But things that we need to kind of keep in mind, there is, what are the benefits, right, of dark chocolate? When it was actually first discovered, like I said, in Central America, they used to make this drink, which was basically cacao beans, and they added their own water. And that was, and that's, it was from then that they discovered the cardiovascular benefits. And I have to bring in that it's also hot month, so I definitely wanted to bring in dark chocolate and its cardiovascular benefits. There is still research going on, but again, if you are doing only a certain amount where, like I said, you're not exceeding the amount of caffeine, that's where you see more benefits to it. Other than that, there's some research, that has been done that says that it helps lower our blood pressure. It's often added to your cosmetics because it's supposedly has anti-aging. It's got some of the anti-aging products. It's good for your skin, and like I said, it's basically flavanol in your cacao that helps with these products. So when you are looking into your chocolate bar, look at the content, how much of cacao is in there or cocoa is in there before you make the decision like, oh gosh, this is dark chocolate, this is like really good for me. So again, make sure look into label reading, guys. I will be doing a segment on that, but again, look into like added sugars, things like that too, right? And just rule of thumb, darker is your bitter, and typically that has more of your cocoa content, which is good for you. Commonly asked, especially like most of you know, I do specialize in helping my clients reach their weight goals. So very commonly I am asked this question, I love my sweets, can I have chocolate? So I definitely do recommend your dark chocolate, and I like to, like I said, I like to get it as close to about 80-85% dark chocolate if you can. That's the one I recommend. Doesn't matter what brand, but as long as it's got that, that's a good choice. And I typically say not more than 1 to 2 squares, and you can even break it up into 2 pots. And I will be showing or talking about a couple of different recipes where I use my dark chocolate too. So that's something you can have too if you're somebody with like a sweet tooth. Catch again, guys, is your portion sizes. Like I said, about 2 little squares is good, especially if you are trying to reach your weight goals. I would try not to do too much of that. And like I said, 60% or greater is wonderful of your the cacao content. 60% and more is great. 85%, perfect. In fact, again, no brand in mind, but I just wanted to show this that I bought. This is dark chocolate, and again, I always make sure to read. That's like one of the biggest things I read is what is added and what the cacao content is. And this one here, says it's got a 65%, so it's great. So again, make sure before you pick before you pick your dark chocolate, what kind you are using. Super important, right? What are some of the risks to having chocolate? Again, guys, I am talking about your dark chocolate. The white and the regular milk chocolate, I really don't recommend it. And I will tell you, though the dark chocolate has like a bitter taste to it, it's a taste to develop. So what I've done, for example, my kids, I don't know if you guys can see this, but my girls actually made these strawberry covered chocolate treats for their friends last night. And what we did was we mixed in some dark and some regular chocolate because, they didn't want to do all dark, of course, because of the bitter. But see, it still, looks really nice, and it has a really nice taste. So it's all about mixing in things. So it's not like it's just empty sugar that you're having, right? So again, any side effects or any risks, the only thing that I say is, again, it's not the cacao that's the problem. It is in your chocolate. It is the added product. So definitely do justice, do your label reading to make sure what's in there, what's added, and the only other thing that I would say, if you do a lot of dark chocolate, like I said, or if you do say your coffee beans covered with chocolate. Those are things that can give you then the excess caffeine, which, then watch your symptoms. If you're irritable, if, you're jittery, you can't sleep at night, that means that's too much caffeine for you, right? Because sometimes we are having this in addition to like a tea, coffee, soda, whatever. So that's where you kind of want to mix in and watch out for those things. Now comes the fun part. So a simple, quick, simple things that I make, because of course we all want dessert and it's Valentine's Day, guys. So I picked up this 100% nut butter from like a farmer's market place here. And what I did is, again, I mixed in, melted my dark chocolate and mixed it in with my butter. I think last time or the time before, if you guys watched my Lunch with the Dietitian, we talked about making your fresh nut butter and make it all the time. And then if we want chocolate, like sometimes you're craving the chocolate, I'll throw in some of the dark chocolate chips, the melted one, and mix all of that instead of buying maybe like a chocolate syrup or a Nutella or anything like that, because this is completely homemade, super easy, takes you 5 minutes to make it, right? So that's one idea. The other one that I have, and I made this chocolate sauce recently. It's basically, and in fact, I'm planning to make more of that, but I took tofu. So this is like 16 ounces I have. So I took about 8 ounces and adjust it for your taste. Throw it in your Ninja, your processor, or whatever. Take your dark chocolate make sure, to melt your dark chocolate, vanilla extract, and then mix it all really, really well. I'm telling you, and then dip it in your fruit. And you've got this really wonderful chocolate sauce. Oh, yum, yum, yum. Kids won't even know, but they've got, again, so much protein from this tofu. Now, with soy products, especially, guys, I always recommend get your organic soy, please. But anyways, super simple recipe, right? Another of my favorites is my chia chocolate chip pudding. And same thing, I make my chia, let it set for like in like water or almond milk or however you like to, soak it in, let it sit for a few hours till it fluffs really nicely. Then I go ahead, if you like it sweet, I do add a little bit of maple syrup. And then my dark chocolate melted chips in there. So then it forms this really, really nice pudding. So those are kind of my ideas. If nothing works, guys, I've also, every now and then, I get these. These are basically your chocolate date rolls. Super easy to, you can also make them. Basically, you roll your dates in melted dark chocolate syrup. Like I said, if kids don't like that bitter taste, just mix in both and then roll your dates and put, there's some coconut. Of course, if you don't have time, you're running really short on time, just buy one of these. These are wonderful organic dates rolled in dark chocolate also. So those are my ideas. I hope all of you have an absolutely fabulous Valentine's Day, and don't be afraid to indulge in a little bit of dessert, because again, long term restrictive eating, what it does is, if we are restricting ourselves, then there comes a point where you're going to sit with that whole bar and have it. Rather make the choice, go for, like I said, 60 to 85% of your cacao with your dark chocolate, and then have one or two of those little squares a day, if that's what you're craving. Slowly, even that's going to go, and you might just be happy with a couple. I always have these little dark chocolate chips that, I'll have like a couple of those if I'm really in the mood. So it's all about mixing in, making sure we are picking the right kind of chocolate. So again, enjoy. Please share my Facebook Live if you want to, and I will see you guys again at noon next Friday. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful, wonderful Valentine's Day weekend, guys. Take care now. Bye.